What's up, universe? It's your boy Skirt Skirt back at you with another video, and this one is special. What we're doing today is we're ranking all the 24 Supercross tracks from dog water to absolutely based, all 16 of the tracks. We're going to rank them, and we're going to base them on a few things. One is fun. How fun is the track? How much enjoyment do you get riding it? Secondly is how technical is the track? Are there multiple lines? Is it tougher to do on and offs? Are whoop sections, do they flow? Are you getting hopped out of them? Are they fun to do? The technicalities of it. Flow is the next one. Flow is just about how does the section go to the next section and feel around the track. Or does it feel like there's times where you're breaking up and you're holding your nutsack, not knowing what's going on and not knowing what the next obstacle is? Or is it just rock hard, straight through, putting it down? That's the flow. And last but not least, difficulty. How hard is the track to master? When you're going your fastest and when you're feeling your best, how long did it take? How much are you white knuckling the controller trying to fucking make it through? That sort of thing, difficulty. So I played all the tracks, I put all the points together, and now I'm going to show you from 16th to 1st, from ass to absolutely baller, which tracks suck and which tracks don't. Let's jump right into this. Alright, first on the list, in 16th place, the worst track in the game, by my opinion standards, is St. Louis. This track has terrible flow, it is not fun, it's barely technical, and the difficulty is not high up there, okay? It doesn't take long to figure this track out. And the thing that sets this track apart for me, honestly, it's the obstacles, okay? It's pretty one-lined once you kind of know what you're doing, and then which in turn makes it very easy to do. We have these ridiculous lines. Look at these ridiculous lines. Look at this. Ridiculous lines. Jumping all the way into a turn. Fucking destroyed my children trying to make it. Okay, that's stupid. That's way too arcadey. Nonsense. And then look at this line. They designed this line, the finish line jump. They designed it to be faster when you roll it. Okay? The only other way to do that is to go super outside on a turn that's pretty difficult to stick and rail the outside so that you can jump over the entire second landing roller. So you skip the landing and you go all the way to the other side. Now, the only redeeming quality is this, what's it called? This section is pretty technical, and it's pretty cool. These whoop sections, honestly, I have a really tough time blitzing these, so I just jump them, 1, 2. Not very easy. I mean, not very difficult, sorry. And then this section is just 4 and 4. 4 and 4 and you're done. So, overall, let's go for this ridiculous line again. Overall, this track is about as shitty as this landing. Pretty fucking shitty. Moving on. At 15th on the list is Denver. Now, I was actually a little sad that this one fell so far down on the list because there are some times where I like putting in laps on this track. The main reason it's so far down on the list is because when I talk about difficulty and technicality and flow and all these things, this track is sort of boring. And it's not very hard, okay? I'm in the wrong gear, of course I am. It's not very hard. The obstacles, I'll tell you, this section is probably the most technical of the sections because it is easy to mess it up. But this one, if you can get up and over, god damn, it's the Suzuki, bro. My kickstart's not helping me right now. If you get over that one, you are in this section of the track that is absolute boring as fuck. Now, this might have been what they really raced in real life, but it's turn, straight, absolutely nothing. A whoop section, that's pretty fun. It's pretty smooth whoop section, and then you're back at the finish. To me, if half the track is just a snooze fest, then I'm not really a fan of the layout, and honestly, I was a little sad that I had to put it so far down on my list because this track is fun to race. The fun part was up there, but the difficulty and the technicality was just so far down that I couldn't put it any higher for me. I just couldn't do it. This section is fun, you know, once you get a little rhythm, which I'm having problems with. There you go. But then after this, it just falls off. and we're just, like I said, we're just doing straights, turns, not fun. So, sorry, Denver. That's why you're 15th on the list. Let's see who's 14th. In 14th place, okay, this one might be controversial. I know there's a lot of people out there, including myself, that would have put this in the bottom, like the absolute worst track in the game. The flow is not there. It is pretty technical, I'll give you that, and that's probably what saved it from being last place. As far as fun to ride, it's not fun to ride. It's just not. You know, comparatively to the other tracks, a lot of these rhythms, you know, the fast lines are just big arcade lines, which are fine. You know, it is an arcade game, but the flow gets broken up at points that doesn't really make sense, and then as soon as you kind of get a rhythm on this track, you find out that it is very one-lined, and when it breaks down, it's really hard to hit those one lines, because the one lines, the favored lines, are pretty big lines. And so difficulty, I would say, to master this track, that also, the difficulty and the technical side of it is probably what brought it up on the list a little higher than it's deserved to be, because there are a couple sections that are very difficult and technical. Like this one, the preferred line is jumping 5 out. Like, that's the preferred line, and it's just a huge line. And the whole time you're riding the track, you're kind of worried about that line, you know? And that, to me, isn't very fun. You know, if you're spending the whole time worrying about the big line that is unrealistic, and that's the only fast way through the section, that kind of takes away the fun on this track. So Arlington, you get 14th. You should have gotten last, but I do a number system, and that's just how it worked out. So let's go see what the next track is. In 13th, we have San Diego, Whale's Vagina. Now, San Diego is a really fun track. Its fun score was super high. The problem with San Diego to me is it's just not very difficult, and it's not too technical for me. Okay, not very difficult, not very technical in comparison to some of the tracks that are higher up on this list. The parts on the tracks that are technical are pretty easy and pretty easy to do. It's pretty, I'd say there's a couple lines in most sections to do, but it becomes pretty clear what the preferred lines are on about 60% of the track. And so I would say there are a few technical spots, but overall it's kind of an easier track. And it being an easier track is kind of, you know, why it was kind of down. The flow's good. I feel like this track flows quite nicely. There's only a couple parts that are like abrupt, like this turn. It's a little abrupt, but not bad. Still flows nice. So we're going to put this one in 13th, even though I think that a lot of people, especially guys who may, you know, not be the best at this game, they might be like, oh, I put that in like 5th or 6th because it's just so fun. And I agree. It's a really fun track. You can put hot laps down on it. But as a guy who's not the best, but better than your average rider, I'm going to say that if I'm looking for kind of the best track to kind of test myself and be the funnest, I would say this one is just easy. Just easy. But it's a great track. It's a fun track. It's a flowy track. So that's why I got 13th on the list. All right, let's go. In 12th place, we have Anaheim 2. Now, A2 is one that I did not like in the beginning. It is an extremely technical track. And that was its saving grace to get it all the way to 12th, if I'm being honest. Hitting the lines, it's kind of a unique track because the lines, you know, the flow is not very good on the track, but it's extremely technical, which inherently, once you get the lines down, makes it fun, you know. But that brings down, I think, the flow about it. And like this turn with those rollers, that really does break up flow. I'm not like mad at it, but like this turn as well breaks up the flow. Not mad at it, okay? It's technical. And this part obviously is one of the bigger sections. Very fun, very flowy, very technical. But before I mastered this track, you know, I wasn't really a fan of it. However, after mastering it, and I'd say the difficulty is not high, but it's upper mid range on this one. The difficulty is pretty good, which makes it, you know, a fun track to kind of master and go through. Sometimes I don't know where to blitz these whoops or to jump the whoops. This section is always fun, this rhythm. It's always fun to get over the table. And then it shoots you into this. Usually hugging the inside is kind of quicker. And then the whoops kind of having those ruts in them, that's cool. Like I said, the technical score on can't even fucking talk. The technical score on this track was extremely high, but the flow really brought it down to me, and this track was not fun at first, but as you got better at it, because the difficulty level, oh my god, Sexton tuck in front. The difficult level was pretty high, and after you got over that, the track did become pretty fun. So that's why I put A2 at 12th place, and let's see who's in 11th. All right, Anaheim won. 11th place, the slightly better looking twin brother of the Anaheim duo. I'll say this, Anaheim 1 is extremely technical, and they were actually able to put a better flow together than A2 with better obstacles, which is why it got a little bit up, or a little farther up on the list than A2. Like A2, I definitely thought A1 was a difficult track when I first started out, which made me go like, I don't know. But the more you ride this track, the more you will appreciate it, because this one is, I'll say, not too tough, but it's so technical with some of the rhythms and some of the lanes, and flows nicely, that it's better. To me, it's going to be better than A2. There's a bunch of sections where if you go inside, outside, like if you do them right, they can be equally as fast, which I feel adds to the fun factor and the longevity of riding the track. This section coming up is probably the toughest and most technical on the track. I like to do this, jump up top, double, and if I can get it, which I didn't get it this time, but it's to jump over the whole thing. I do enjoy the back-to-back whoop sections. They're done really well. It puts the track together, and just instead of like Denver when it's just flat straights, I feel like they put some options in there. This section, extremely tough to nail down, which is nice, and in this section you can go on off, or you can go big line and jump all four. Both line choices are dope, and when you're racing in leagues, like the SMX, AMA SMX League, you have a lot of dudes who are extremely good, and when you're pushing the boundaries on these tracks, A2 is one of those super fun tracks that a lot of people will make mistakes on, because it's tough to kind of be clean on a track that has just so much to offer. So I feel like 11th place is pretty darn good, and I really enjoy A2. I used to not, but I really enjoy it. All right, time to get into the top 10. Let's see who's in the top 10. In 10th place, we have San Francisco, one of the funnest and flowiest tracks on the circuit. This track is a high-speed track. It has a couple tricky rhythm sections, and it flows amazingly. This is probably, another track where I'm like kind of torn, because it's a point system, right? And I have to be kind of hard on all the tracks, But this is one of the tracks where it has easy sections, it has hard sections, it has medium sections. I don't even know what that was. Sorry, guys. The next lap will be better. But every section flows together. These whoops are probably, out of all the tracks, some of the biggest and some of the toughest, I guess, whoops to really kind of gauge like what speed you want to go into. And then you have this quad right here, and everyone has their ups and downs with this quad. It's not hard if you know what you're doing, but it definitely is not easy. And so that makes it fun, right? Because as soon as you master it, you're like, cool, I got one up. High speed sections with some options for rhythms. So there's two ways to do that one. Both work. This is a super tricky part. Like I said, this on-off thing is super cool. You go bounce, bounce, jump, jump. Honestly, for starting off the top 10, if I wasn't ranking it on points, I might even put this a little higher on my personal list of just like, the eye test, right? And a lot of you probably did. But if I'm just being real, it wasn't that hard and it wasn't that technical to really like put it up there with like the best tracks. Therefore, that's why we got 10th place. But an amazing track. I love this track, and I think you guys love this track too. 9th place coming right up. Boner air, boner air, boner. Coming right up. In 9th place, we have Philadelphia. Another track where the flow of this track and the fun of this track really put it high up on my list. The difficulty and the technicalness about this track weren't the highest, but it was so flowy and so fun for me that I definitely put it higher than maybe some of you might think. But this track is super fun to ride. I like the ruts on the inside. This is like an inside heavy type track. This section right here, not hard, okay? Not hard, but easy to make mistakes on, which is kind of crazy, right? It's easy to make, but it's also easy to make mistakes. This is a fun little rhythm section. This is kind of like in what is it? Is it the A2 track where it has those turning rollers? But unlike A2, they made them actually big to where you're not just going to blow off the track. So I thought that was cool. This whoop section here is not difficult. They're nice and rolled, but entering the whoop section is a little difficult. A little bit difficult. You can go inside or outside on this section, putting you up for the first set of rhythms. Some people go outside, some people go inside. But it's really cool because either line choice you can make work on this. And like I said, the flow on this track is just crazy. Let's try this outside real quick. Let's see what it does. Okay, big line. Yeah, so definitely slower, but you can do it, and it feels good doing it. I messed that up, but let me see if I can do this outside as well. So you can jump the whole thing in. Slow down for the inside. Very cool. Technical right there. Very nice. But not a hard track to do. But it's so flowy and fun that I feel like this track definitely earned its 9th place on the night. Now we're about to get into territory where it all starts to blend together because all the tracks that we have coming up next are pretty darn close. And I'll explain why. Alright, let's go to track number 8th place. In 8th place, we have Indianapolis. Good old Indy. Now, this track got 8th place because I gave it top marks in technicality. It was really good in the fun factor. It was really good in the difficulty factor. The flow factor kind of took a hit, but its technicalness was top notch. We got top rankings for technicalities, just like in real life with Indy. This track is one of the tougher tracks to master because it's so technical, which makes it super fun. Super fun, because if you have a crispy lap on Indy, because of all the offs and ons and big rhythms, tight turns, it becomes super fun. If you can't get those sections because they're so technical, you might be like, oh, this track's gay. And honestly, I respect that. I respect it, Your body, your choice. But what I will say is that once you gain a little bit of speed, once you kind of know what lines to go to, it really does become a fun track to race people on because it's so technical. And it's not really high speed. There's tracks on here that like you really can open it up and get like super high speed. Indy's not like that. Indy is a little touch and go, and that's fun, and that's awesome because you can go fast, or you can have fun going fast, and you can have fun going a little slower. And honestly, I like both of them, and that's why Indy got as high up on the list as 8th, especially coming from a perspective of I didn't really like this track when I first started, not at all. This whoop section is cool because if you get it just right, you can kind of jump in, jump out, which is totally dope. You can go inside, outside there. And yeah, 8th place, Indy. What a dope track. Next, please. Now, 7th on the list, we have Salt Lake. Salt Lake was one of those tracks where, in my personal opinion, was like one of my 3rd favorite tracks before I did this list. But then I started to break it down, and it went down a little bit in my eyes, especially after riding it for a bit. I feel like the track is extremely flowy. I feel like it has lots of options, big rhythms. The technicality is dope. The difficulty, especially, they have really tough rutted sections, and then that kicker right there, which make it kind of unique you know, and something I enjoy very much. Like, this inside is super tough to hit perfect. If you hook the rut too hard, it shoots you into the tough blocks. This entrance to the whoop section, since it's more of a high-speed track, is really tough to get into. So yeah, so this track is, honestly, it gets high marks everywhere. The flow of the track is what I enjoyed, because it mixes being able to flow into the next section with also technical high speed stuff. So it's like we're going fast, but then we have to like check up for a technical spot, but then it starts to speed up again. I thought that was super sick. This section creates so many different line choices to go through. So yeah, this one is absolutely doing well on my list. We put it in 7th place, and I feel like that is great. It's really great. And like I said, these next few tracks are going to be very tight in how I ranked them. But I would say, if anything, you know, it's just like, it's a great track. It just may not be as great as the ones coming up. So let's go take a look at those. All right, so in 6th place we have Nashville, and I'll tell you right now, Nashville got a 9 out of 10 with the fun factor. This track is super fun. I love riding this track. It has almost everything you'd want in a supercross track, and it got 8s across the board in difficulty, flow, and technicality. So this is a great track. Really, it really does a good job at mixing high speeds with the technical rhythms. It has a nice sand section. It has like this, I'm pretty sure it has this like super right before the finish line. We're coming up on it right now. So this sand section is always tricky. And then right before this finish line, so many dudes fucking blow this berm hard or case this triple up. Super dope. On this next section, you can go outside or inside. You can go big line or medium line. Lots of different options. Super fun. Easy to make a mistake. Feels great when you don't make a mistake. This is a cool different line. You got to really check up to hit this inside. They have a small and big section of that little hip jump. It's probably faster to always go right. And then coming back with this, I mean, the flow of this track is just super. It's just super good. Ooh, tuck in front. So yeah, so this track, absolutely, we're getting into the cream of the crop of these in Nashville. I gave you a 6th place because honestly, it's just super fun to ride and race your boys on. So I would give it a 6th place finish. Super good. But now it's time to get into that top 5 spot. Let's go ahead and find out who the F that is. Lego. Holy chapped ass, we're in the top 5, guys. And in 5th place comes Detroit. A track that got a 9 out of fun and a 9 out of flow. This is one of the funner tracks to ride, hands down. The difficulty and technicality of it kind of suffered a bit, but the flow and the fun is absolutely amazing. I love the ruts inside the turns. They really give lots of options. You got that booter quad into a beautiful whoop section. And then they break it up with like this roller sand section. I mean, super fun. Super fun. It has technical spots. It is a technical track. Like these last top 5 tracks, they do good in everything. Okay, so we have this technical on-off, hopefully quad to the inside. Didn't grease it, but hey, it's fine. A triple, and then this wild little tiny little thing with a little thing on top of a little thing. It's like a huge dragon's back. Into this rhythm section again. Couple ways to do it. I prefer staying low, being efficient. Bunch of ruts to choose from. Probably the middle rut will let you have like the most speed. But yeah, when it comes to just super fun tracks that are, you know, technical, difficult, you know, what's the other one? Flowy. Detroit, absolutely amazing. 5th place. I rock with you, Detroit. Go Lions. All right, in 4th place, we have Glendale. Now, this track got a 10 out of 10 in flow. Probably one of the flowiest tracks. Super awesome, super long. Lots of rhythm sections. Can be technical, can be difficult. Definitely is fun. It got 8s across everything and then a 10 in the flow. This track came out early when the tracks dropped, and it's a super favorite. I feel like the only thing that this track has against it is it came out a little too early in the season, and then people like kind of got maybe tired of riding it maybe. I mean, I didn't, but it's not one of the newer tracks, and I know all these tracks have been out for like a year now, so nothing new here. So maybe that's it. So this section is kind of wild. You can hit this low line on the left and avoid lots of that mess. I love it because it really separates that people don't know, and oh fuck, it's fine. We'll get up. It separates the people don't know, and for the people that do know, they get that super low lap time, and it's within bounds, so it's not fucking cheating. We got a nice whoop section that's very peaked, very close together. If you get in there good, you can really rip them. This section here, you can go triple or quad in. I prefer triple in, hit the inside, you know, cut the line off. But I mean, look at this rhythm section. I mean, this is just Supercross at its finest. A nice little, what's it called? A little break up with the double. Little straightaway, but nothing's boring. We have a triple out, and then here we go. The start of the biggest rhythm in the game, which is pretty dope. I mean, we're talking quads, fives, triples, whatever you want to do. Oh shit, little tucked front hit neutral section. You can, if you triple it, this is what it looks like, and then you can do a little send or sandy into the whoop section. You can do that too. It's not very fast, and I like being fast, so I'll never do that, but it's there. The sand section's nice. Hug it tight. We get in here. Oh, I thought I could get away with that. Guys, cheaters never prosper unless you're, you know, not caught. And then that's lap. Honestly, the flow of this track is superb. It flows amazingly. Everything else, 8s across the board. Awesome to master. Very technical. Super fun. Love this track. Glendale, 4th place. Amazing. Let's go. In 3rd place on the box. Third place on the box, we have Foxborough, a track that did everything really, really, really good. We got 3 9s and an 8. This track is super fun. It's very technical. It flows well, and honestly, it is very difficult to master. This is where the tracks start to separate themselves, because this track is super dope. And I already messed up, which proves that it is technical and difficult. This section is crazy. So you can either triple quad if you have enough speed, which I didn't, or you can quad triple, which I think is the safest line, hitting that outside. Even in the tight sections, it just flows. Like, look at this. Turn to turn, flow. Amazing. I usually cut this inside and go double, and then I guess that's what I triple out. Well, I fucked the double, so let's see if we can triple out. Perfect. Right into these whoops, and then there's skimmers. This is a little on-off, which is super dope. You got a little, what's it called? A little cut lip, and then right here, a little hip jump. You try to stay low. I just shit my balls out of my rectum, but we're back in it. And then a little roller sand section into a, I guess it's like a big double off the turn, and then I usually check up. There we go, hit a quad. Let's see if I can quad triple. It'll be, oh no, why would you do that? Why would you do that, Skr? You ruined it for the gram. All your fans were waiting for you to fucking show out. You know what? Since these tracks are so dope, fuck it. I'm just gonna run it, and then we'll see if we can run a hot lap. So what's that? My fastest lap so far is 57. Not very good, boys and girls. Let's see if we can tune it on up a little bit. We might not be able to, but we'll see if we can. Yeah, this track is sick. 100% sick. Super dope. Super quick. Love it. Try to go as low as possible. The tough block punched the shit out of me. Holy hell. We'll just go all the way over this time. Alright, so I'm going to roll into this. I'm really going to try to quad out. Let's see. Oh, we got it! Big line, baby! Yes, yes! Look at that. 6-second shave, 51.7. Still not my fastest, but you know what? Fucking awesome. Foxborough, amazing track. 3rd place. Let's get it. Let's see who the best track. Let's see who the best track is. I'm wondering who it could be. I don't know. Let's go. And in 2nd place, we have Birmingham. Holds a special place in my heart. This is the track that I got the highest place that I've gotten in the league thus far. 2nd place. This track is everything. It's a 10 out of 10 in the fun, and 9s and 8s for everything else. Love this track. It's absolutely amazing. I believe my fastest lap on this track is a 49.5. We will not be 49.5ing in this video because, you know, it's not going to happen. But as you can see, we have technical spots, super technical spots, attention to detail. You know, this is like a double, but they turned it into kind of like a triple underneath. They didn't have to add that, but they did. Super technical tight on-off section right there. That's fun, and people eat shit all the time doing that. Now, I like this finish line because it sets you up. People do outsides and insides. Insides is good for passing people, and you can still keep the rhythm because the section after it is a bunch of rollers. This section right here, you know, if you check up and do the kind of the, what was it called? The mild wild line? It's kind of like the not super sendy line. It actually becomes a little quicker. Big rut on the inside right here. You can really get a nice rail through that. Check up, hug inside. Now I double, triple, quad, double, inside. That is the, I would say it's the lowest line, which might attribute to the fastest line, just kind of depending. We're going to go outside here. A lot of guys go too far left and they hit the tough blocks and fuck up. But this track is absolutely amazing. Has a little bit of everything for everybody. I'm going to go wide on this turn to show you what it looks like going wide. Awesome. You can triple in. I probably could have quadded out, but I bitched up. But yeah, super fun. This track's amazing. Let's get to see who's number one on the list. But there's only one left, and I think you guys already know who it is. And in first place, with an almost perfect skirt score of 39 out of 40 points, I'm talking 10s on 10s on 10s and 1-9 in difficulty, this track has everything. It has flow, it has difficulty, technicality, it has fucking whatever the other one was I was going to say. Seattle is the best track in my opinion. It is super technical. I mean, everything is a rhythm. Everything has options. You can go big, you can go small. It's super wild. You can triple, you can quad triple, you can quad double. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do on this track, and this track never stops giving you crazy shit. Another thing, they put this roller after the whoops. Some people check up and jump over that bitch. Not me. Not me. That's a little wild of a line. Long straights where you can get super high speeds and then you tuck front. Just like that, into these insides. Super dope. And then right here, you see it has like a couple lines. You can go outside, inside, middle. Very cool. This sand section is undefeated. This sand section is wild. Super technical. So many people have a problem with it. I'm going to go jump over this wall. I mean, the options on this track are fucking endless. You can do anything on this track, and no matter what you do, it looks sick and feels sick. Even that. Looks sick and feels sick. So this is by far the best track when it comes to how hard it is, how long it is, how stiff it, I mean, excuse me, sorry, how hard it is, how fun it is, how technical it is, and how flowy it is. This is the best track in the game by far, and I would like you guys to let me know if you agree. In the comments section, do you agree this track, Seattle, being the best track in the game? I know it's tough. I know the top 5 especially are super close, but I mean, I cannot tell you this sand section alone cost me so much fucking grief for the longest time that as soon as I figured out how to do it, it was like super payoff, and I just love how it is, especially if you put on max deform. We're riding strong, but if you put on max deform, I mean, the ruts in here are absolutely insane. They grab you. It makes it super tough, and yeah, this is my favorite track. So Seattle number 1, that's what it is, guys. We'll see you back at the menu. Well, there you have it. St. Louis, absolutely dog water. Seattle, fucking based. And that's what it was. All of your 2024 SX tracks ranked 16th place to first place. That's what I think it is. I did the number system to break it down, and even in getting super specific in it, you could have easily changed some of these names and some of these tracks, you know, for others. I know, it's tough, okay? Not a perfect list, but a pretty damn good one. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Push it out. It's been a while since I put out a video. I just noticed that. I ain't fucking stopping. I've never said I was stopping. In fact, I said I was going to be the best and go to the top. And you know what? The best thing is fucking stalling a bit, but the going to the top never stops. I will never fucking stop. I will be going Thomas the Engine Train what's it called, tank engine. I will be chugging that bitch through the butt to get to the top. That's what I'm going to do, okay? It is what it is. That's all it goes. So, Seattle, number 1. St. Louis, just delete yourself. You're fucking lame. And let me know in the comments what you think. And if you think there's a better track in first place and what it should be a showing of and why, because I want to know the reasons. I gave you my reasons. I want to know the reasons. And tell me what you think of it. So, thank you guys for rocking with us. This has been a fun video. I had a really good time ranking these tracks. It actually opened up a lot of my perspectives on all these tracks and what I think. And honestly, MX Legends makes pretty damn good tracks. You know, I mean, Supercross 25 is coming out. I will be doing so many videos on Supercross 25. I actually just got to pre-order the game yesterday, so that's awesome. But yeah. Legends does a great job. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be here making videos for the next one, but until then, I will tell you, I love you. Have a great day, and skr skr.